everyone. So let's see finance bill. So today we're going to read that and I will explain you the concept. Okay, let's dive into the topic. An overview of finance bill. The income tax contains provisions for determination of taxable income, determination of taxable tax liability, procedure for assessment, appeal, penalties, and prosecutions. It also lays down the powers and duties of various income tax authorities. The income tax in India consists of the following components. Components of income tax law. Income Tax Act 1961. This act came into force 1st April 1962 and contains sections 1 to 298, wherein each section may have subsection clauses or subclauses and may also have provisions and explanation. Annual Finance Act. Every budget is present before the Parliament by the Finance Minister. One of the very components of the budget is the Finance Bill. The Finance Bill contains various amendments in the Income Tax Act and other tax laws to prescribe the additions and deletions therein. When the Finance Bill is approved by both the houses of the Parliament and receives the assent of President, it becomes Finance Act. Income Tax Rules 1961. For the implementation of Act and administration of income taxes, Central Government of taxes is empowered to frame these rules from time to time. These rules are collectively called as the Income Tax Rule 1962. Notifications. Notifications are issued either by Central Government or by CPTT to take care of the procedural aspects of the Act from time to time. These notifications are binding on everyone, that is on income tax authorities as well as on the assessees. Circulars and clarifications. Circulars and clarifications are issued by CPTT to clarify the doubts regarding the scope and meaning of certain provisions of the law and primarily to provide guidance to income tax officers. These circulars are binding on the income tax authorities but not on the assessee. However, an assessee can take benefits of these circulars. Judicial decision case law. So, decision pronounced by Supreme Court become judicial precedent and are binding on all the courts, appellate tribunal and income tax authorities and assessees. Further, High Court decisions are binding and on assessee and income tax authorities which come as under its jurisdiction unless it is overruled by higher authority. Decision of High Court cannot bind another High Court. Finance Bill is part of the Union budget. It's presented usually in the month of February every year, and the bill contains amendments in indirect as well as indirect taxes. It is presented in the Parliament by the Union Finance Minister. The Finance Bill is passed by both the houses of the Parliament. After it is being tabled, necessary recommendation amendments have been made in it. Once a bill has been passed by the Parliament, it goes to the Honorable President of India for presidency assent. After the presidency assent, the Finance Bill becomes Finance Act. So the Finance Bill is presented. So எழுதியிருக்காங்க என்னன்னா ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டெப் வந்து ஃபினான்ஸ் பில் வந்து presented by finance minister before the parliament. முன்னாடி ஃபர்ஸ்ட் finance minister வந்து ஃபினான்ஸ் பில்லை கொடுக்குறாங்க. அதுக்கப்புறம் ரெக்கமெண்டேஷன் சஜஷனை தான் கன்சல்ட் பண்ணுறாங்க. அப்புறம் பார்லிமெண்ட் அப்ரூவ் பண்ணுறாங்க. அப்புறம் ஆனரபிள் பிரசிடெண்ட் வந்து அப்ரூவல் கொடுக்குறாங்க. ஃபைனலாக ஃபினான்ஸ் ஆக்ட் ஆகுது. Next, the Finance Bill contains detailing the imposition, abolition, remission, alteration or regulations of the taxes proposed in the budget. It is through the Finance Act that amendments are made to the various acts like Income Tax Act 1961, Customs Act 1962, etc. In short, Finance Bill can be considered as an upper act when the proposals are introduced to the parliament. It is called as finance bill. Once it is passed by the parliament and acted by the president, finance bill becomes a finance act for that year. Finance bills of various years. Finance bills for various years are available at the website India and indiabudget.nic.in. The effective date of applicative or provisions of Finance Act is usually mentioned in the notification, the official gazette, or in the Act itself. Generally, the amendment by the Finance Act are made applicable from the first day of the next financial year. Likewise, amendments by Financial Act 22 are effective from 1st April 2021 regarding the indirect taxes. The tax based on value are effective from the midnight of the day presentation of the union budget. ஸோ வந்து நமக்கு இப்படி தான் வருது. ஃபினான்ஸ் பில் வந்து எப்படி ஒவ்வொரு விதம் ஃபினான்ஸ் பில். ஃபஸ்ட்டு வந்து Income Tax Act 1961, Annual Finance Act, Income Tax 1962, Notifications, Circulars, Clarification, and Judicial Decision Case Laws. So, Finance Bill presented in the Parliament by Finance Minister and recommendation consideration for Parliament approval and approval of Honorable President, and it became Finance Act. That's it. Thank you.